What's up guys, the Dude's Corner here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to solve the mirror cube. Now real quick, I just want to say two things. The first thing is that thank you all so much for 100 subscribers. I know I've been at that for a little while now, but by the time I'm filming this video, I would have only just reached that point. So that's why I'm saying it in this video. So thank you all so much for the support. And the other thing is I'm sorry if the lighting gets really bad in this video, because sometimes if I angle the mirror part of the cube, the lighting will go dark. Sorry about that. I'll try using my editing skill and filming to try to avoid that as best as I can. Alright, now let's just go ahead and get through the solve. You're going to need to have seen my 3x3 tutorial or just a 3x3 tutorial. You're not going to specifically need mine. You should be able to figure out what to do if you have not seen my tutorial, but if you still want to check out my tutorial, link will be down in the description, because you will need to know how to solve the 3x3 to solve the mirror cube. Alright, now let's go ahead and real quick talk about the structure of the cube. Basically, this is exactly like a mirror 3x3 cube, and the way it's going to work is that you're going to be solving it by shape rather than by color. So you might remember in the 3x3 cube, we'd see the colors and line up where they need to go. Well, this time you're going to be doing it by shape. So it should be pretty straightforward going through the solve. Doing it on your own can be a little difficult. So I'm going to kind of walk through all just the regular steps, and you should be able to figure it out from there. Alright, now this cube is solved, and you can't solve an already solved cube, so let's just go ahead and get with scrambling it. Alright, I'd say that's reasonably scrambled enough. Now, for doing this, the easy way for me to do it is I like to solve the flat side first. Now, it's hard to kind of find the center, but you should be able to find it by all the pieces that are kind of just sticking up. So it's right here. Then you know that that's your lowest center. So this is the one that this side we're going to solve first. So, like the 3x3 tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to get all the flat pieces onto the opposite side. And it seems like we actually already have one up here, so that's good. And we have actually another one right here. So we're just going to rotate this and bring it in with the longest center. So now we have two flat edges up here, and then we have another flat edge right here. So we can just go ahead and bring it down and then bring it up here. So now we have three. And the last one looks like it is here. Okay, so it's already lined up, so we can just bring it in. So we have all four of these in place. So we've already finished the first step, so that's pretty good. Alright, so let's see. We have this one here. I usually do smallest to biggest. So we got to line it up with the center, and it looks like this center it's lined up with. So we will turn it twice to bring it onto here. So 1, 2. And then this one's actually already lined up as well, so we can turn it twice, just like that. And this one here can be lined up over here. Okay, and then we can turn it twice. And it looks like this one here is lined up already here, so we can turn that twice as well. And it seems like we've completed the cross, and now we are going to have to get the corners in. So this one actually needs to go here, so we can do the basic take out of the slot, and then we can insert it. Now this is the tough part of knowing which way it's facing. So as we can tell, if we look at this, we can kind of judge on the size of the piece that needs to go in here. And looking at each side, this is not big enough, that's not big enough, but this side is. So that means this is basically our white part of the sticker, and then this is also our white part. So then that means we need to pull this away, bring the right side down, bring it into place, and then bring it back up just like that. Okay, so we also have this one here, and it looks like, I'm going to guess this slot, I'm not quite sure. So we're going to line it up here, and it looks like this would be our white sticker, so which means it's out this way. So that means we need to bring the right side down, bring it into place, and then bring the right side back up. And yes, it was the right piece. Now we also have this one here. This is another flat piece, and it's not going to be this one here because that's too big of a slot. It's going to be this one's smaller. And once again, the white, or the long side, is sticking out this way. So we will bring the right side down, insert it into place, and then bring it right back up. Now we have one left, and it looks like this is the only corner that is the thin one remaining. So we line it up underneath, and once again, this is facing toward us this time rather than out this way. So we will bring the bottom layer out of the way, bring the right side down, insert it into place, and then bring the right side back up. And as you can see, we've completed the first layer, and don't be afraid if you've made a few mistakes throughout that part of the solve. It will happen. Just kind of work around it and you should be good. So now let's go ahead and get on to the second layer. Now, solving the second layer, you're going to look for one of the pieces that lines up with one of these centerpieces and is not lined up with this centerpiece. So let's say we take this edge piece here. So it looks like it could belong up here if we flipped it around, but one way to find out is if we just line it up throughout all the centers and see which one it lines up with. And it lines up right here. And it's not lined up with its center, so that's how we know that it belongs in the second layer. Now, judging on which one of these it goes into can get really difficult, and it's very easy to put it into the wrong slot. Now, I already know which one this goes into because this one's already in here. We already solved this one when we completed the corner, so it has to go into the right. But if you make a mistake on inserting it in the wrong way, just take it out and then insert it into the other slot. So it needs to go in here, so we're just going to do our basic inserting algorithm. So we will do U, right algorithm, turn face, left algorithm. And as you can see, the piece is in. So let's keep going. So say we take this piece right here. Let's see if it belongs in the second layer. So we line it up with its center. Now, as you can see, it's matching its center, and you might think to insert in here, but it's not going to go in there because it is lined up also with this center, which means this piece actually belongs right where it's at right now. So because of that, don't insert these pieces into here. Alright, now we have this edge piece here. Now, we can obviously tell that this does belong in the second layer because it's rather small. So we're just going to line it up. Okay, so it's lined up, and this piece is already solved, so we do know it needs to go in here. Once again, if you put it in the wrong slot, that's okay. Just take it out and re-put it back in. And this is going into the left this time, so we will do U prime, left algorithm, turn face, right algorithm. And now we will look at this. Now, as we can tell, we already have three pieces that belong up here, and it looks like this one will probably go in here, right? But it actually doesn't, and it's tough to tell these kinds of things because it looks like it will, but no, none of the centers match up, which means the piece that we need is already in there. So to get this out, I'm just going to insert any edge. So let's just insert this edge. It doesn't really matter. And so to do this, we're going to go U, right algorithm, turn face, left algorithm. And the edge is out. And now we're just going to line up with its center and then insert it in. So U, right algorithm, turn face, left algorithm. And as you can see, we've completed the second layer, and now we're going to do the last one. Now the last one can get really hard because it's hard to tell what piece goes where, but it is really the exact same thing as the 3x3. So as we can tell, we actually have the angle case. Now I know this is difficult to see on camera, but you have the two edges that are matching up with its center, and these two are not lined up. So because of that, we know that this is the angle. And of course there is the line, the dot, and the cross, but I'm not going to show you all those cases because I'm just going through the solve once. So to do the angle, you do lowercase f right algorithm, lowercase f prime. And now we have the cross. Now, finding out where the corners, like which ones go where, can get very difficult. And it will get really hard to tell whether or not they belong in their slots. I already know which ones. I already know that it's these two that need to swap, and I can tell that these two belong here. But that's only because I've had a lot of experience with this cube. So if you make a few mistakes throughout this part, that's okay. Just keep continuing, trying to figure it out, and eventually you'll get there. I can tell that it's these two that need to swap because this is a really big block, and this block is bigger than this one, but this one's still relatively big, and this is also relatively big as well. So I know that these two belong here. They're just not correctly positioned. And then these two need to swap. So to do this, we will do right algorithm 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Turn face, do left algorithm 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And it seems as though, as we can see, we already have 2 of these corners solved. And now we just need to position these last 2. So to do this, we're just going to repeat the right algorithm. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to turn the base and then repeat the right algorithm for this one. 1, 2. And now all the corners are positioned. Now we're just going to line up, from this point you're just going to line up this massive block here with where it belongs. And now you're just going to use our regular algorithm that we would use for solving the last 3 edges. So right algorithm once, left algorithm once, right algorithm 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left algorithm 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, the cube is solved. So it's not really a difficult puzzle. It is pretty straightforward, but just kind of get some practice along the way with this puzzle, and you'll definitely be good at it. Now, I know it seems like I was just going fast and I wasn't doing a lot of explaining, but really this is a puzzle that you do have to kind of figure out on your own. You're going to come across lots of mistakes, and that's okay, but just keep going along with practice and you will get good at it. Alright, so thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, and make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. And then we will do right algorithm, and as you can see, the edge is in... Who's calling me?